Hey guys, so I thought recently about making an ASMR video, and so here I am, giving it a shot. I wasn't really sure what I was going to do at first, and then I was looking around the room and I saw my stack of books, and I thought that maybe I could read you passages from some of my favorite books. So, if you guys like these, I'll do more. And I'm gonna give it a shot. I've never done one of these before. So, the book I chose to do first is The Road by Cormac McCarthy. And it was made into a movie in, I believe, 2009 with Viggo Mortensen, who plays Aragorn in Lord of the Rings, and Cody Scott McPhee, who, as I just learned, was the voice of Paranorman. So that's interesting. This is the only Cormac McCarthy book I've ever read, but he has also written All the Pretty Horses, No Country for Old Men, and Blood Meridian. Those are just some you might know by name. I really like his writing style. I think it's just different than what I'm used to reading, but it's very compelling. This book has won a Pulitzer Prize, so that's pretty cool. What this book is about is it's a post-apocalyptic world, and we're not exactly sure what's happened, but what we do know is that most of the world's population is dead. And so we follow the man and his son as they travel south for the winter and try to stay alive. And I know the way I'm talking kind of makes it sound a little cheerful, but I mean, it's post-apocalyptic, so it's very dark and bleak, but it is very compelling. I'm not normally into books like this, but I really, really like this one. I find it very interesting. I find the writing very, very well done, obviously. And so if you're into that, and if you like the way it sounds after I read it to you, I think you guys should give it a shot. I'll make some sounds for you guys now, because everyone knows that we love the sounds. So. See, some of the stuff is highlighted in there. That's because the first time I read this, I read it for class. It was one of the optional, or choose from a list books for my AP Literature class, the school year previous to the one I'm in now, which was my senior year. So yeah. I obviously had to write an essay on it, and I was just highlighting stuff in it. I don't normally highlight books, but I kind of like it in this one. When he woke in the woods and the dark and the cold of the night, he'd reach out to touch the child sleeping beside him. Nights dark beyond darkness, and the days more gray each one than what had gone before. Like the onset of some cold glaucoma dimming away the world. His hand rose and fell softly with each precious breath. He pushed away the plastic tarpaulin and raised himself in the stinking robes and blankets and looked towards the east for any light, but there was none. In the dream from which he'd wakened, he had wandered in a cave where the child led him by the hand, their light playing over the flowstone walls. Like pilgrims in a fable, swallowed up and lost among the inward parts of some granitic beast. Deep stone flues where the water dripped and sang, tolling in the silence the minutes of the earth and the hours and the days of it and the years without cease, until they stood in a great stone room where lay a black and ancient lake, and on the far shore a creature that raised its dripping mouth from the rimstone pool and stared into the light with eyes dead white and sightless as the eggs of spiders. It swung its head low over the water as if to take the scent of what it could not see. Crouching there, pale and naked and translucent, its alabaster bones cast up in shadows on the rocks behind it, its bowels, its beating heart, the brain that pulsed in a dull glass bell. It swung its head from side to side and then gave out a low moan and turned and lurched away and loped soundlessly into the dark. With the first gray light, he rose and left the boy sleeping and walked out to the road and squatted and studied the country to the south, barren, silent, godless. He thought the month was October, but he wasn't sure. He hadn't kept a calendar for years. They were moving south. There'd be no surviving another winter here. When it was light enough to use the binoculars, he glassed the valley below, everything paling away into the murk, the soft ash blowing in loose swirls over the blacktop. He studied what he could see. The segments of road down there among the dead trees, looking for anything of color. Any movement, any traces of standing smoke. He lowered the glasses and pulled down the cotton mask from his face and wiped his nose on the back of his wrist, and then glassed the country again. Then he just sat there, holding the binoculars and watching the ashen daylight congeal over the land. He knew only that the child was his warrant. He said, "If he is not the word of God, God never spoke." So as you can see from that, it's bleak, but it's very well written, and it's very interesting. The book is, let's see, the book is about 300 pages long, this edition anyway. It only took me a couple days to get through. If you see a cut there, that's because my mom just walked in on me because it's 11:30 right now and she heard me talking. So, as I said, if you liked that, go check the book out. If you like these videos, let me know so I will keep making them for you. If you have any comments or critique, please let me know. I would love to just get better at this. Thanks for watching, guys, and have a great and relaxing evening.